as a function of age, if this enzyme goes down, this goes down, then what will happen? The superoxide will move this side. Instead of moving this side, it will move this side and will lead to damages to your lipids, to your proteins, and to nucleic acids, and they will destabilize the system, and hence the aging occurs. This is the good one which I thought I'll tell you. You generate free radicals, and they can be generated endogenously inside your body by these mitochondria, the peroxisomes, and so on, from exogenous sources by your the toxins which we have, a lot of radiations which we are exposed, the environmental toxins and so on. So you generate them. But if you look very carefully, this side is a lighter side, this side is a darker side. And why I had to give you? Because you have to have somewhere in the middle. This is what I thought as a good student of biology you should keep in mind, that free radicals are not every time dangerous. Little amount of why nature generated free radicals. Nature is always good to us. It generated free radicals to do some work. However, nature also wanted us to go out, leave the space. So they might, the enzymes which are necessary for down regulating these free radicals, if they are down, then you accumulate free radicals and then you age and you die. Now, if you look here, if you have much less free radical, or sometimes, nowadays a lot of companies, they sell anti-aging capsules. Most of those anti-aging capsules are, say, the vitamin A, vitamin E, these vitamin capsule, vitamin C. So if you keep on taking more and more, thinking that I will never be old, but sometimes it happens that your dose is so much that you go to this side and you die because of infection, not because of your age. So you want to take the capsule, and a lot of companies in US are what you call anti-aging quacks, that you try to make a hype that in order to remain young, use these antioxidant tablets. And without knowing the biology, how these antioxidant tablets work, if you consume more, then your free radicals have come to this side. If you have less of these, then your host defense goes down. How our body is protected from noxious agents, the pathogens from outside, because we have a good immune system. Immune system works when you have some amount of free radicals. But if you don't have free radicals at all, then your immune system is not very good. So hence, you always have to be in the middle, what you call homeostatic balance of pro-oxidants and antioxidants. They have to be maintained in a proper proportion, homeostasis, so that you have a normal growth and metabolism. If you have more of them, then you have aging, disease, and death. So that is what I thought I should tell you here. That there's a famous cartoon. This enzyme, SOD, superoxide dismutase. And this enzyme, if you measure the level in lower animals and higher animals, humans have highest amount of this, and humans live highest, barring the exceptions. So these monkeys, they also live for around 30 years, but their SOD level, even within their species, is less than the humans. So if you manage your free radicals better, you can live for a better duration. This I thought I should tell you because we have been discussing about metabolic rate and metabolism. In every society, maybe here it is much more than any other place, people fast. People fast on Navaratri, people fast on different Thursday, Tuesday and Saturdays. Every society, even in Muslims, they have a Ramadan period, they have a Lenten period, even in Christians. So people fast. Fasting in our society is a very old thing. There must be some benefit. We know we always do things which we taste with time. Parents have tested, grandparents have tested, and we keep on doing. There must be some benefit of fasting. And first time around 1935-36, a famous biologist did work on rats and mice. चूहा पे उन्होंने पहली बार experiment किया. Is fasting good? Can it give some benefit? And he was a famous biologist, Mackay, and after he published the paper, nobody paid much attention. But I can tell you, in 1980s, huge amount of scientific research people did on, they call it dietary restriction or caloric restriction. If you restrict your diet, then it has a better effect. You have a better longevity. Simple explanation was that if you eat less, you metabolize less, you generate less free radicals, you damage less, and you live long. Simple explanation. But if you, as a biology student, there are much more than this simple explanation. It's a very complex process. This was first time done in mouse survival curve. This group of mouse, they were given food as much they liked. Full. Every time food is there on their cage, so they can keep on eating, and whenever they want, they eat. But these ones, the green ones, they were given restricted food. Less than the first ones. And look here, their average lifespan and maximum lifespan, both are more. It means that dietary restriction has some impact on having better longevity. What is this? Anyway, there is some problem. Anyway, we'll see later, don't worry. This I picked up almost in 2005. There was a Times of India article, fast on alternate days to live longer. You know, you won't believe, I picked up this issue as a biochemist in 2001. We had a animal house. Hope that there is no animal activist here, because nowadays animal experimentation is being banned virtually. If you take what we did in almost 10 years ago, 11 years ago, if you take mice in 2 cages, say 5 or 10 mice here and 10 here, these mice you keep food every day on the cage. This group, you give food today, tomorrow you remove. Then no food, only water. Third day, keep the food. What we call alternate days of feeding. This we did in 2001, published a very good paper on hormone receptor concentration. So that time, alternate days in animal, say mice you can do, but human probably you can't do, because and human longevity is so high that you can't do experiment using humans. And we tend to eat more when you go to parties. So controlling the food is very difficult in humans. But in rats and mice, you can plan and do it as a biology student. Frugality could be key to longevity. This was another one which was published. Eating less, a surefire way to longer life. First, it was already done in mice that if you eat less, you live long. There is an old saying, "Kam khao, gum khao." You know, kam khao or gum khao. Eat less and be calm. Quiet. Not that don't don't express yourself. But eating less has always advantage. The question is how much less? Less, how much less? You must have seen somebody painted in Bombay because there is a word called zero size. So if you eat too less, so that your blood glucose level comes down, the brain always requires glucose, you become hypoglycemic and you faint. As a biology student, you should know that the brain requires glucose. And if you have not eaten for a long time, then you faint because brain doesn't work. Now, generally it has been seen that if your restriction is around 20 to 25%, don't restrict beyond 25%. Say if you eat 4 chapatis normally, so eat 3. Don't eat 2 and 1 so that you can't reach to college. You have to come all the way from city to this college. So you need energy to work with. So the restriction has to be within the limit. And I can tell you, the dietary restriction has, this is generally you don't believe as a science student unless you do experiments. This was a famous work which was published in Science in 2009. Look at the monkey this side and this side. A and B, you see A and B, they are same from different angles. This is the front view, this is the side view. Look at these were kept on restricted diet. It's a US National Institute of Aging in Baltimore. They had a longitudinal study for a long time because monkeys also live for 25, 30. They were virtually 27.6 years old. Almost 27, 28 years old. So who will study for 28 years? By the time your PhD is over, your MSc is over, you will leave the place. But this was done at a national institute, and look at the skin here, look at the hairs, the shape, and look at they are much smarter than these ones. So experimentally you can prove that having a little restriction on your diet, you can have better longevity and better health. These are, in human body or any organism's body, you have to have integrated biology where the two organs, say liver and brain, it is not that liver works independently. Liver works, the kidney works based on what signals you release from your brain. So you have an integrated approach and what they call neuroendocrine system. Your nervous system and your endocrine system, they work together in a concerted way, and that homeostasis goes down as a function of age, plus the immunologic system as a function of age, your immune competence also goes down. And this is the neuroendocrine theory of aging. The immunologic theory of aging. We have a thymus, and thymus is so big and huge, it produces thymosin, which is responsible for T cell maturation. But just by the time you are 30 plus, your thymus regresses. So